What's good, y'all? You dog back here again in 2019. Now, I've been meaning for years to do more video game content. I've been asleep, I've been slacking. For those who don't realize, I'm huge into video games. I love video games. Grew up loving them, grew up playing them. I'm into games. I'm a true gamer. I've done videos in the past talking briefly, but I really have fell off with dealing with gaming content on this channel. And that's gonna change. Oh, that's definitely gonna change. And the thing about it is, part of the reasons why I didn't get into video gaming too much, excuse me, adjusting the camera angle and all that, cause shit be crazy sometimes. But the reason I ain't deal with video game too much, cause the video game community, when I was first getting into YouTube, shit had gotten toxic. Shit had gotten really toxic. Very cancerous, even much more than the YouTube anime and manga community. And the toxicity had it was really bad when I was first getting into YouTube, and plus my desires were elsewhere. But there's a lot that needs to be said as the years have gone by. As the days go by, yeah. So in this video, I'm going to be dealing in a very controversial. I know there's gonna be some people in the comic sections. Either this comment section gonna be lit as fuck. Either it's gonna be people will be like, yeah, you preaching. If you've played fighting games and you play as many as I do and as many different types as I do, you gonna agree with me. But if you some fanboys, I know I might butt hurt some fanboys around here. But if we're honest, you will know what I'm saying is true. You will know what I'm saying is true. Not because I said it, but because if you've experienced these various types of games, then you will know what I mean. Types of levels, the tiers of fighting games. Right? Now, it doesn't matter if this is your one of your maybe favorite fighting games, franchises, may be in a bottom tier or a top tier. Who knows? They don't care because I play them all. But I still gotta rank it and be honest with the people. I gotta be objective, regardless of what my views happen to be. It just so happens that your favorite franchise might not be that good as you think it is. Starting with the low tier, the bottom feeders. All right. Now understand these are actual fighting games, not Xenoverse, not things like that, as people like to say the arena brawlers just thing. Now we ain't talking no Xenoverse, all right? We talk about actual fighting games. Now I may disagree with how some, for example, I think of Budokai Tenkaichi. I think those are actual fighting games. I think of the Ninja Storm series as fighting games. Some may disagree with me on that. But those I have criteria, and I can get into in another video on what an actual fighting game is. But the lowest tier. What is this? This is where you have to know specifically for the game. Like most fighting games I can come into and play very well. I'm not gonna be top tier, but I can come in and wreck shop. Low tier, you can't do that. It's just like coming in and playing Just Dance, if you ever played that, or playing Guitar Hero. You actually have to already know how to play the game. Which gives a leg up on anyone else who's not a fanatic of the game. Number two, where you can spam techniques that have nothing to do with fighting. Right? Have nothing to do with fighting. Now, there may be ways around this, but let's be real. More low tier, more spamming. Means you can have casuals and noobs can beat you. I've had this happen with low tier games. I've had people who's trash have beaten me because they simply spammed a character special. That's not a fighting game, all right? Or a high tier. That's not high quality fighting game. It might still be a fighting game, but it's not high quality. Perfect example: legendary classic series, Street Fighter. If you know Street Fighter, you know it's the most low tier of all fighting games. I happen to like Street Fighter. Wouldn't say I'm a fan of the series, but I happen to like Street Fighter. I've played all the way up through 4, if not 5. Right? So don't before you say, "Hey Daniel, Wonder, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about. You Dave, you know what you're talking about." Understand that I played Street Fighter. I played Street Fighter 2. I played Street Fighter 3. I played Street Fighter, what is it, Alpha Strike or whatever. I played Street Fighter 4. I believe I played 5 as well. Doesn't matter. On another thing on these low tier, they don't really change. You cannot tell me that the mechanics of Street Fighter has changed over the years that much. It's limited. It's not a real fighter. It's comedic. It's comical. That's what Street Fighter is. It's fun, but it's frustrating if you're trying to fight it as an actual fighting game. Next up on the tiering list, tier 2. This is what I would call acceptable. All right, it's acceptable as a fighter. This is where the games actually require some skill. There is enjoyment because there's skill. Here's how you know it's an acceptable fighter. Noobs and casuals who just like to spam doesn't cut it with this. Doesn't get you actually have to have some skills. Great example of this is in the Injustice series. You actually have to be able to play a fighting game in order to be halfway decent at Injustice. Halfway decent. You actually have to combo. You actually have to know how to do special. You actually have to control yourself. You can't just spam a combo and expect to win. You'll get wiped off the floor in Injustice. That's the acceptable level of a fighter. Pretty self-explanatory. If you've ever played Injustice, it's a baseline example. And there's plenty of other games that do this. Coming in at number 3, the mid-level. Average fighting game. Now, people think average means terrible. In this day and age, that's not what it means. It means middle of the bar, like the standard. Not the highest standard, but just the standard of what you think of a fighting game. Average fighting games are those that you come in and throw those hands. Average fighting games still give fighters a challenge. They're not the most challenging, but they're still giving fighters a challenge. They're worthy of the title of a fighting game. Soul Calibur. No, excuse me. Mortal Kombat. Excuse me. Soul Calibur, I got a little bit something for that extra. Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, the issues in early Mortal Kombat they have fixed in recent years, in recent editions, especially Mortal Kombat X/10. Mortal Kombat X fixed so many problems I had with Mortal Kombat. It raised it from these lower 2 tiers to 3rd level. Because in early old Mortal Kombat had the same problem with spamming that you had with Street Fighter. You had to know the game, which is just not cool. When I can rock with a character like Shiva or such, and I'm just trying to throw these fucking hands, alright? When it came to Mortal Kombat these days, they still got issues, but you got to be able to fight. And the reason I know that is because in Mortal Kombat X, I know 11 just came out recently. It is what it is. I have not had the opportunity to play 11. This is how the problems have mastered. Like, what I really played was from 3 all the way to X. Like, I think I had some, like, with 9 in Mortal Kombat 9, MK9 and such, but I didn't really play them like that. But the drastic change, and I'm like, thank y'all. Great job. This is what I'm talking about. Better in the right direction. When I was playing Mortal Kombat X with a dude, former roommates upstairs, right? Former roommates, they had the system, and a dude, dog. Now, there was another guy who played Mortal Kombat, beat me, I put in some work, but he beat me, I ain't played Mortal Kombat. Wow, right? He beat me, but, I put in some work. Dog. This other dude who tried to button mash, kept trying to, it was so bad I was trying to teach him how to win, right? I beat him over the course of a night 26 straight times. Now remember, I hadn't picked up the Mortal Kombat game in probably 2 to 3 years at that point. Hadn't picked one up. But it's a fighting game. You can come into a fighting game and throw these hands. And that's what I did. And I was whooping his ass. I was whooping his ass with what characters I rock with. And every fighting game is a little bit different. So I main or fave a different one. I was showing him how to win with his own characters that he was trying to use. That's what I'm talking about. With actual fighting games, you actually have to be able to play games. You can't be out here and think you just gonna be able to do stuff. Nah, they got delays and everything. For every move that you do, it has a delay and it affects. Now, I have mentioned Soul Calibur. That comes in at tier 4. All right, that comes in at high level fighting games. high level fighting games. Soul Calibur, bro, you got to bring it. See, when you start to get in tiers of 4 and 5, you got to really bring it. Because if you don't bring it, you getting washed, son. You getting wrecked, you getting body bagged. Straight up bodied. And the thing about it in things like Soul Calibur is folks say, well, this character's better. In real fighting games, like they on this highest level, there ain't no. It's the skill you have with that character. Cause and also certain styles are better against other styles. Like you may be wrecking shot. Let's say you going through the computer mode, you know, on let's say Soul Calibur 3, for example, right? You just rocking. All of a sudden, you fight someone who has a style that is diametrically opposed to yours, you might take that clean L, and you like, bruh, I just ran through everybody, and then all of a sudden, bam. Or you might fight a fighter who completely parries and counters you, and you're like, ain't this the most annoying thing? Ain't this the most annoying thing? Top tier amongst top tier of all fighting games, Tekken. Right? Tekken has evolved greatly over the years. I have my views on, and I'll do a video on what I perceive other than 7. I haven't had the opportunity to play 7. But Tekken is the creme de la creme when it comes to fighting game. It's the best fighting game franchise. It happens to be my favorite because it is the best. There's so many different styles. I don't know of another. There's others that might. There's probably a few that others that are in this level. Soul Calibur's got a lot of styles. Don't get me wrong. But with Tekken, there's so much stuff. Dog, I'm stay learning. I stay seeing stuff I've never seen before. Combinations in some of these games, like in Tekken 6. Hey, dog. I'm like, how? How do you do that? Players figure things out. Dudes, it is an actual fighter. It's as if I was fighting. You see more actual martial arts when it comes with Tekken, when it comes with Soul Calibur. Mortal Kombat, Injustice, like you see it. And so my criteria is based on actual fighting. It's supposed to be a fighter. I'm supposed to be throwing these hands. I'm all for powers and abilities, but they shouldn't be detrimental to the actual gameplay itself, actual story mode, and whatever you have it. Unexpected one, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. I know I might get cheating fire for this one, but y'all know that I can take it, and this is my channel. I would love to hear what y'all got to say on this. What is your experience with fighting games? What do you think of my tiering list? And if you know my list, like we can talk about some other games in certain tiers as well. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.